As an Australian, can you say how concerned I should be about China's imperialist ambitions, intentions down under in the coming 20 years? Obviously, for many decades, we have provided a lot of tokenistic support to the American war machine in exchange for their protection, but I fear it won't be enough. So Australia is in the kind of location where it is kind of exposed. Let's take a look at the map. So here we are. We have Australia all alone here in the Pacific Ocean. It's very, very far away from the United States. The US guarantees Australia's security, more or less. It's been Australia's security guarantor since the end of the Second World War. During the Second World War, there was a very, very real fear in Australia of an invasion that would come in from Japan. The Japanese Navy was very powerful, they could have done that. So that was the fear at that time. Today, you have an even more powerful force out there, which is China. The question is, would China want to take over, I mean, to invade Australia? I don't think the Chinese want to go rampaging across the world, invading countries and enslaving them, occupying them. There are far better ways of doing it. I mean, why can't you just buy out all the politicians and then control the country from outside? Right? I mean, we know what the Chinese have been doing. This debt trap diplomacy, cultivate various crooked, corrupt politicians in various nations and buy them out, and then have these ridiculous loan terms imposed upon the country and so on. So the Chinese, as we know, have been interfering in Australia's internal affairs. They have been interfering. They have apparently, I'm saying apparently, bought out some politicians and bought out some lawmakers, bought out some business people and so on. So their tentacles are deep into Australia already. So the Chinese, the way I see it, China doesn't seek to invade Australia and occupy it physically. There are other ways of doing it. You can do it from far away, from by remote control. So the Chinese obviously have this ambition of replacing and displacing the US as the sole superpower globally by 2049, which would be the 100th year of the Chinese Communist Party's coming to power. So Australia would be part of those plans, of course. So from Australia's perspective, it's tough days. I mean, it's going to be a tough couple of decades and coming up. It's going to be that way for everyone. With the rise of China, you will see the rise of China's imperial ambitions. China sees itself as the middle kingdom, as the center of the universe, as the center of everything, and everybody else needs to be submissive to them and kowtow to the emperor. So, if America doesn't get its act together, then it will not be able to guarantee Australia's security and all that from China, and so that could be a problem. So that is how the world is going. We are witnessing the very rapid bipolarization of the world into two camps: the American and NATO camp, which Australia and New Zealand are a part of, and the other camp, which is China, Russia, and whoever else would want to stick together with them. And the problem is that for the longest time, the it's been about 10 to 12% of humanity that has ruled over everybody else, dictated everybody else about how to behave, how to think, what to say, what not to do, and so on. So people are kind of fed up of the system. So that, and if you look at the level of sanctimony that we are witnessing right now, post the Ukraine invasion, it's turning off even the most ardent Anglophiles and Westphiles or whatever, right? So they are precipitating this bipolarization and they are pushing people into the embrace of China. So that's what we are witnessing now. So the coming couple of decades are going to be quite interesting, and it may be tough for Australia. One hopes that Australia remains a sovereign nation and all. Hopefully, let's see how it goes, but it may not be that way.